It's 8 simple instructions on how to create paper snowflakes. Let me show you how to do this. First, of course, step number 1, you want to start with a rectangular or a square piece of paper. Any size will work. We're going to just use here a regular sheet of copy paper. Step 2 is we're going to fold the corner down here down till it matches over to the opposite side, but you also want to get a nice point up here. So right about there is where we're looking to make our crease, and notice that it makes a triangle right here. I also have a rectangle on this side. And step 3, I'm going to go ahead and trim off that rectangle there. There we go. Now you can save that piece for smaller snowflakes later. Right now I'm working with my triangle, and step number 4 is I'm going to fold down one of these corners to match the other corner here. This is a pretty simple step. Go ahead and fold this right over just like that, match up my corner. So I have a smaller triangle now. Step number 5 is a very tricky step, but it just takes a little practice to get used to. You want to take this corner over here and fold it over about, I would say about 2/3. About like this. Now you also want to make sure the thickness here is about the same thickness over here as well. So I'm going to fold this over until that side matches, and I'll do those 2 steps again so you can see them. First, for step 5, I go ahead and fold it over about 2/3. Then I fold the other side to match it, and it basically should look like a spear point right there. Now that was steps 5 and 6. Let's move on to step 7, which is pretty simple. If you see this line right here, we're going to cut right along that line. There's no line on the other side, so make sure you're on the right side. I'm going to cut right along that line. Cut off those extra pieces, just move those to the side. Now I have my triangle. And I think this is the really fun step, step number 8. You're going to be cutting your pattern, any pattern you would like, but there are some rules to follow. I always start with the tip. It just makes it a little bit easier. You can cut any pattern you want. You could use lines, you can use deep shapes if you want to. You can flip it over, however you'd like to do that. There we go. So that's just a simple shape that I cut out of the tip. Now I can cut the left and right hand side of my triangle. You can do small shapes, you can do really long shapes. Again, you can make curves. You don't want to cut the entire portion of your left or right hand side. You do want to leave some spaces like these right here connected so that your whole snowflake will stay together. You can get pretty intricate. Do be careful. Since you folded up your paper a whole bunch, it's sometimes hard to cut through it. So I've seen people try to cut down on their paper and maybe press a little too hard and snip right through their entire snowflake. So do be careful of that. I'm going to cut through this here. Now, the bottom part of my triangle here, this flat part, I can cut out that entire section. That'd be perfectly fine. In fact, I usually recommend that. There we go. And of course, the last step is you just unfold it. Let's see what you have here. And there we go. And there's our snowflake.